and you'll go out, and then what you'll do is just turn left. As soon as you go out the lagoon, turn left. If you turn right, you're gonna end up in Lake Michigan eventually, and that's the wrong way.
That.
So the ramp's kind of slimy down at the bottom. This is the bottom of the ramp right here. What I would suggest doing is get your get your paddle into the boat like this, kind of avoid that slimy patch, and then get into your boat that way. Yep.
Yeah, so we got Salt Creek to the right, and ahead of me there is, well, to the left is the Little Calumet, and like Yogi Berra said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
So where are you from?
Well, hello. Wait, hold on. Get that fixed. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Calumet Wilderness with Sam Love. I am your host, Sam Love. I'm out here on a part of the Little Calumet River that's new to me. Out here with the Northwest Indiana Paddling Association group today, so stick around. We're gonna go check out Little Cal and Salt Creek. Well, this part of the Cal's been radically altered, starting almost 100 years ago, 1923, when the construction of Burns Ditch, which today they call Burns Waterway to make it sound fancier, I guess, but it's Burns Ditch. And when that was built, it essentially split the Little Calumet into two. You had the East Branch and the West Branch, and it totally changed how that river flowed and where it drained to. They also channelized this portion of the river here, so it's a lot straighter, deeper, and wider than other parts. That's why you can have some power boats and whatnot here. And this draining project was decades in the making. I mean, almost as soon as you have Gary, you have flooding, right? 1906, Gary is created. Over the next couple of years, it explodes in population, and there's some great old photographs in the archives. Tremendous winter flooding that just turned the Little Calumet River into basically a lake. I mean, they said the banks were a mile apart at this point. So a lot of Midtown and Glen Park was under icy water. So to prevent things like that, you know, people, town leaders, engineers all start saying, hey, why don't we alter the river? And ultimately, you know, there were lawsuits and hearings and whatnot, but in the early 1920s, it was passed by the state, and we have what we have today. If it weren't for the breeze, I'd be going nowhere fast right now. Current's moving on by, but I'm not moving very much, and pretty happy with that. Whew. Now I'm moving. I'm at the confluence of Salt Creek and the Little Cal, the East Branch of the Little Cal. I've seen this spot from the ground. I think it's called Deer Trail Park. Just off 249, but to be down here, really cool, really beautiful down here. So where do I go first? Yeah, last week wouldn't have been very fun. Good to be back with everybody. Wasn't intending to take 3 weeks in between videos. This float was actually supposed to happen last week, but the weather was so terrible that day, I'm glad they canceled the event. I don't necessarily need to be out here in the thunder and lightning and cold and wind and rain. Today's absolutely glorious. Much better day to be out. Nothing like seeing local wilderness for the first time with your own eyes. Nothing compares to it. Of course, the real tragedy here, you may know, you may not. About 3 years ago, 2019, a cyanide pneumonia leak from the mills, which at the time were owned by ArcelorMittal, dumped into Samuelson Ditch, which connects with the Little Cal just upstream a bit. And thousands of fish just immediately killed, floating at the top of the water. So I think a consent decree was just signed earlier this year. I don't know all the details. I can put some links in the description below, but you know, there's that contradiction again, nature and industry. It seems like they can coexist. It looks so beautiful and peaceful and quiet and green and blue and natural out here, but one mistake by industry, you just have death and sickness. I'm trying to wedge myself in this log jam here so I could stop and talk a bit, but I have come loose and now I am caught again. Nice little log jam. This will be cleared out next year. This is very ambitious plans to open up the river pretty much all the way through Porter County, and I have consented to joining that party next year and helping clear that out, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, this one here is not too bad. Not that I know anything about clearing log jams yet. It's a decent current when you get away from where we launched from, which is the Isaac Walton League, the Miller branch of that. Thank you all for having us out here today. Some of my favorite late summer plants are in bloom right now. I think as far as like flowers go, late summer ones are some of my favorites. You know, the goldenrods. There's a lot of jewelweed out here, the orange kind and the pale kind. I don't know, I just love jewelweed. I think it's so beautiful. Woodland sunflowers, snake root. So yeah, this is just this is a really nice time of year before all that bright fall color comes in. All right, I think I'm gonna go off to Salt Creek here.